And they're doing that. Yo, we're doing it again. Test. I hope your neighbors listening, because they can't do a damn thing about it.
Coño.
New York City.
And they're doing that. All right, guys, this is take two. Ben there doing that podcast. There's about a 5% chance this actually ends up on the internet. I have no plan here. The only thing I want to do is just fucking press record and do the damn thing, because I spend all this time thinking about it, wondering what to do, thinking about how, things haven't been going so well mentally for me lately. And then I'm just like, I'll do the podcast another time. And then it becomes a chore, me trying to figure out what I want to do with this, and then that weighs on me, and I overthink about that too. So a lot of overthinking, a lot of struggling, and instead of just thinking harder, I just fucking pressed record. Don't know what we're going to talk about today, but if you're here with me, that means I deemed this episode worthy of putting out there. So thanks for listening, and just know there's something good in here, because otherwise I wouldn't have fucking posted it. That's future Ben thoughts right there. All right. The difficulties of life and overthinking everything. That's dope, right? Lately I haven't been putting out content so much or anything creative. I've just been working a lot. When I say working a lot, I don't mean that in like a shitty way, like, I'm just fucking working. I mean, like, I'm working on the things I love and have amazing opportunities, and things are going in a great direction, and we're changing the world. I don't know if you know about it, but check out Tranquila AI, because that's the thing I've been spending most of my time working on. And we launched recently. Right now we're doing some fundraising, but essentially, in short, we're kind of helping to tackle the global mental health crisis with empathic AI. So if you think about things like the suicide hotline, or for veterans, the Department of Veteran Affairs, people calling in very stressed out, needing some support, needing some help, just needing empathy and someone to talk to. And a lot of times, we've done the research, these people are put on hold. They're just kind of waiting. They're told they'll call back. They'll be called back. When they finally get to somebody, they have to repeat the information about themselves. Just like a shitty experience you and I would have calling the bank or any customer hotline, where you're just like, operator. It's horrible. And these are the people who need it the most, and they need help right then and there, no callback, and most of them just end up hanging up anyway. You could only imagine what might happen from there. So with Tranquila AI, we're leveraging this next wave of AI, which is becoming very human-like and can be very empathetic. And I know a lot of that scares people out there, and you think, oh my God, there's going to be these deep fakes, fake news, people taking over the world. There are a lot of bad actors building shit with this technology. So I do acknowledge that and know that we need to be careful with how we build it. But I think a lot of people are just out there complaining and saying how bad all this stuff is, rather than actually trying to figure out how to combat the bad by building something good. So I don't want to sit here and complain about what bad people are doing. I just want to build shit that is going to help change the world for the better. So the team, working with Frank and a couple other really heavy hitters on this. If you don't know Frank, he's kind of my mentor, partner. We work on all things together, everything AI related, events. We have a couple ventures. We do some consulting for startups and enterprise. Okay, we're going in circles, but that's okay. I just figured I'd give you a little context. That's the good news of all of this. Tranquila AI is out there. So first of all, I'm going to use this fucking tool once it's built, and once it's kind of ready to go, and which it's getting close, and we're doing kind of MVPs and testing and piloting. Right now we're kind of selling this to nonprofits and government agencies and people that actually serve those in need. But down the line, we're going to have a version direct to consumer. So people like you and me having a rough couple weeks, having it's a tough time, and you need someone to talk to, unbiased, that can just kind of be there for you and support you. It's kind of timely, because I've been feeling kind of not great over the past few weeks, and in no part due to my lifestyle. I know a lot of people feel depressed and upset because you're working a job you hate, or just you're in a relationship that sucks or something's going bad. So none of that is the case with me. I mean, I'm really happy about the direction of my life and the things where things are going, which just goes to show you. A lot of people are like, yo, if I'm rich, then everything will be fine. If I have all the money in the world, or if I have a house, everything will be fine. If I could just travel more and be on an island, everything will be fine. I want you people, whoever the fuck you are, if I got one listener, great. I want you to realize your problems will follow you wherever you go. It's all inside. It's all mental health related. It's all you. And if you can't figure out your shit with yourself, you get a new fucking job, you get a new girlfriend, you get a new location, you go on a vacation, it's all going to follow you. You can't run from yourself. And this is something I've learned. I guess this is good timing because I'm feeling kind of not great over the past few weeks. You know, some might say it's the moon cycles or the energy in the air, the changing of the seasons. And I say yes to all the above because ultimately I know with all these downs, things always come back up. And I've learned time and time again, it's only temporary. It's been a couple weeks now since I've been feeling like heavy and just fucking extra tired and hard to wake up in the morning. Kind of the feeling like, all right, I'm getting through the day. I want to get back to when the sun goes down and I can go to bed because at that point it's acceptable to give up and stop, you know, being there and support it for everyone, whether that's business or family or relationships. I've been looking forward to the time where I could just rest my head and just shut it all down, which isn't how I want to live my life. And I know that's not sustainable. It's just a little bit of a funk. But I say this all because things can be awesome in your life. You could have the dream job, the dream relationship, the dream everything. And if you have stuff inside that you haven't resolved or looked into or reflected on, you're going to keep running into the same issues. And listen, I consider myself pretty advanced on the self-reflection, self-discovery journey. So it's not like I don't do the work. I mean, I just journaled a bunch, kind of reflecting on some of these thoughts and feelings, asking a bunch of questions. Funny, when I do that reflection, often I end up with more questions than answers. But life is about good questions. It's about knowing what you want to answer and then reflecting on that, meditating on that, and then realizing the answers will come when they're meant to come. But my point being, even if you have all these tools and you're doing the work and you're aware of what's going on, the dark days still come. I don't know. If anyone's out there listening, you challenge me, come on. I would love to have you as a guest. If you think that there's a point in life where you could avoid the dark days and the dark times and just like be so woke and spiritually lit that that everything like that you can't feel like shit, or that you could just, when you do feel like shit, you could just rise above that and be like, I am above all of this. I look down at this person observing that and I don't feel this. I'm free. I'm trying to be spiritually free, man, and I'm getting better at it, and meditating definitely fucking helps because you get to just remove yourself and look at it. Journaling really helps too because the overthinking bit and just kind of everything brewing up and it all becoming overwhelming, you got to get it out of your head. That's the best thing you can do. Even if you're, I do feel a little better, and, you know, not drinking helps feel better too. I've been taking a little time off of boozing just because when I'm going through this, that energy doesn't help at all. So what do I want to say that's positive to you? What I want to say is that it's no longer dependent on what's out there in your future. The promotion you're going to get, the relationship you're going to find. If you put your happiness on all of those things, then you're not in control of it. Then you have to just wait till things work out. Or, I mean, of course, you increase the chances if you work harder, but then it's just outside of your control and out of your hands. And it'll happen whenever the world says it'll happen. But with what I'm saying is that you are in control of your inner peace and inner happiness, because it's not going to come from some other thing. It's only going to come from you knowing yourself and finding out what you need to be happy and what your purpose is, and do things that are fulfilling in life. Like I've just been thinking about, the thing that's been weighing me down a lot too is I don't think I've been doing enough creative stuff. I love playing guitar. You can see it back there. I love poetry. I love podcasts. I mean, many people wouldn't consider this a creative outlet. I do. I don't go to therapy, so if I get to just talk to this and put this out into the world, at least I'm letting some shit out and kind of getting some answers and getting some clarity. So I feel like I haven't been doing that stuff lately. I've just been working, and then at nights I'm not drinking, so I'm usually working through the night as well. And again, I like working, and I actually enjoy what I do, and I like getting ahead. And I think those nights of working are what sets me apart from a lot of other people and what are going to fast track my road to success in the life that I want. But it's not just all about working. It's not just all about working all the time. There's other things to do to, even if there's more to be done, there's always more to be done. There's always fucking more to be done. The list never ends. The to-do list will never end. So, yeah, you could always say, well, there's more to be done. I got to keep working. But at some point, there's the law of diminishing returns where you're burning yourself out and you're not as effective, you're not enjoying it as much, you're not feeling as lit up or energized by it because you're just doing that and there's no balance. So I like to try to insert some balance, and I'm working, me doing this podcast right now is just me inserting that balance. I realized something that wasn't happening that I wanted to happen. So I'm just doing it. And again, I don't think I'm posting this, but now that I'm getting through this, I kind of want to fucking post it because I think a lot of people might resonate if they actually listen to it. I mean, another thing is I don't think a lot of people listen to this stuff. I think everyone's really busy in their own life. So I'm like, what's the point? But the point for me right now is just to let some shit out and kind of let other people know that it's okay to feel this way. You know, things could be going well in your life. Things might not be going well, which just kind of doubles down the pain. Then at that point, you got to focus on taking action to get yourself out of shitty situations. But in parallel, always be doing the work. Find the questions that you want to answer in your life. You don't need to have the answers right now. I just wrote down some questions. You don't need to put the pressure on yourself to have the answers. And I think I put the pressure on myself to have the answers way too often. So I'm practicing not doing that. But you don't have to have the answer. Just write the questions down. And then if you at least write the questions down that you want to answer, you know, next time you're out in nature and you're just looking at a beautiful tree and a bird lands on it and the sun's shining and you take a deep breath and the fall wind is rushing and you smell the leaves and the smoke coming out of people's chimney and the campfires. You feel all these feelings and you smell and you feel what it is to feel alive. In those moments, then the answers just come to you. Just like they just show up. And that's the God thing. That's the universe. That's the spiritual part of it all is kind of, that's just, the answers come to you. That's intuition. That's the higher power, whatever you believe for that. There's something, but it helps to know what questions you want answered so that you can seek the answers and get them. I mean, I wrote here, what are 5 lifestyle changes that I can make to increase my happiness by just 1%? Doing this thing right now. I'm doing this podcast right now. That's one thing that I could do to increase my happiness by 1%. I do also want to know kind of what direction I want to go in with this podcast. So this is just like I pressed record and saw what come out episode, but I want to have guests. I want to dive in. I want it to somehow tie in to what I'm doing with my life and my career. And maybe there's some clarity right there. I've been fucking grinding so hard helping the team to build Tranquila, which is all around supporting those with mental health needs. I've been burning myself out and feeling tired and kind of lost and just like down, just negative. So maybe the podcast becomes talking to people about mental health and the real shit. I mean, it kind of, a little bit, the first season I was talking to people about what it takes to live a happy life, which I think is a good starting point, but maybe I tie it into Tranquila and have guests on and we talk about the power of mental health and why taking care of yourself first is the only way to being effective and successful in life. something for me to think about and ponder. But, it took me talking for 14 minutes and then I get to a potential answer. So I think maybe that's something cool. If you're listening to this, if this resonates at all, please hit me up and let me know, because I know a lot of people just like listen to stuff or consume content and don't really say anything to the person if it hits home. I try to make more of a practice as I get older and realize how difficult life is and how much it takes to put yourself out there in the world. I make more of a practice of, if I see something I really dig, I'll comment on that video. I'll message the person. Like Unc Pappy is someone I've been following lately. He's the guy in Florida who like takes all those videos of him in the pond talking about this real deep life advice, and he's fucking amazing. Every day he puts out a video and it always hits home right when I need it. So I've just been commenting on that and just saying, hey, really needed to hear that, things like that. So just knowing that I'm overthinking a lot and trying to sort all this out in my head. If you resonate at all, please hit me up, say something. If not, that's cool too. Either way, I feel a little weight off my shoulders just by doing this. All right, well, maybe that's the episode. I got to keep these things kind of short. People got a short attention span these days. So I'll wrap it on that with some closing thoughts. My closing thoughts are, at the end of the day, jobs come and go. Relationships come and go. Family, the people you love, they come and go. I mean, it's the hard truth, but you got to face it sometimes. We come and go. We get hit by a bus one day and be gone. The only thing that you can be certain of and have control over is yourself, how you handle situations, the person you want to be. How are you reacting to people triggering you or someone in your life that you love saying things you don't like? How are you reacting? Are you happy with who you are? Are you happy with the way you're handling all your situations? Is there room for growth? Is there a change you need to make? Are there questions you need to ask yourself? Don't ignore that. Don't just keep grinding, and don't just fucking get drunk to just numb it all and just kind of distract yourself, because I'm guilty of that too. I'll admit it. A lot of weekends I'll just, I'll party because I don't want to face this shit. It fucking sucks. So this is a weekend I'm not partying and I'm facing it instead. And you know what? You got to have those times. You can't just keep numbing it, because then you're going to keep having these horrible feelings come up and you're not going to know why, and you're not going to know how to handle them. So take care of yourself. I love you all. I have a lot of love for myself. I have a lot of love for you out there. I'm doing this because I want everyone to know that it's okay to not feel okay sometimes, and that it always turns around and things get better. It's a temporary feeling. So I'm having a vulnerable episode where I'm telling you about it while I'm in it. So that's that. Wasn't easy to do, but I just pressed record and fucking did it anyway because I wanted to. So take care of yourself, know yourself, and figure out the tools you need to get yourself back on track when you're having feelings like this. I'm doing it with the podcast. That's a tool. Find your tool set. All right, guys, much love. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know. Please like, subscribe, share, all that shit. I guess I'll just throw that in there as well. And it's Halloween coming up, so slay all day, y'all. I'm putting this motherfucker out there in the world. Have a good one.